ladies here to talk to us today. This panel is about empowering and inspiring the next generation of women working in the technology and specifically artificial intelligence. And we want to keep it positive today. You'll see a bit of statistics that's from a worldwide perspective and not necessarily indicative of the successes that we have in this region. So we're very proud. I'm so happy to have this discussion with these ladies, and would like to introduce you to them. Let's start with Fatmah. She has the awesome job of taking care of data or data management and statistics at the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure. Huge job. So Fatmah, tell us a bit more about that and what you do and your interest in AI and diversity and inclusion.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Fatmah Alabdouli. I'm a UAE government official. As part of my career, I am passionate about data, statistics, analytics. I have different implementation of AI cases across my career in Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, and as overall of my background on AI. If we are coming today to talk about diversity and inclusion, I am considered as the youngest female lady in Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, and considered as part of the leadership also as well. So as part of my role as a leader, I understand the importance of having diversity and inclusion as part of my team. So usually I do this and lead by example, because in part of hiring, coming to talk about diversity, I have till now 5 nationalities as part of my team. So usually I do train them, educate them, and not only on this speciality of data and AI, but still about their attitude, the values shared between us as a team. So this is one of the main things that I truly myself make sure that it is part of my culture with my team. This is an introduction, a very basic introduction about me.
No, it's really awesome. You're doing fabulous work. Then there's Dr. Fatmah. So many things that you are doing there in Saudi and from many years back. She's the first doctorate in artificial intelligence in the Middle East, and that was in the 2000s already. So welcome and tell us more.
Thank you very much. I'm really proud to share with you some of the accomplishments that I have done throughout this long journey in technology, and in particularly in AI. The whole thing started when I was first introduced to the computer science, trying to learn language. And that was fascinating for me, and I decided to discover more and learn more about this. So I graduated, I focused on the latest technology, and I graduated from the School of Engineering and Computing in 2003 from UK, and working on speech recognition, Arabic speech recognition, lots of innovation there in my thesis. I enjoyed each and every part of it. Of course, I was involved with lots of R&D at the university level. I am linked with several universities. I spent lots of time with King Abdulaziz University and other universities as well, like Jeddah University and like Dar al-Hikma and other universities with different projects. And I participated in several strategies shaping AI, and recently shaping the AI strategy for for youth, for the AI Society. I am the founder and the board president of AI Society. There is lots of women and great enthusiasm in this area. We established a Telegram channel that the number of ladies and students exceeded 11K, and most of them are interested in this area and developing themselves. Of course, with R&D, one of the latest funded researches that I enjoyed working was about robotic. And I worked with two interesting robots. One is Now, and the other one is Darwin. I was able to raise the intelligence of the robot Now from 2 years old to 7 years old. I have quality publications with my students, or with other colleagues as well. I also participate in business development related to AI. So this is another story.
Awesome.
I am proud to say that I participated also in assisting Apple to enter the Saudi market. There is lots to be said, but the most important thing is that my book, I participated in several books, and I translated one book to Arabic. And it's about how the body shapes the way we think, but it is a new perspective of intelligence. It's all about robotic and about artificial intelligence and new vision of artificial intelligence and how it's supposed to be used in different areas. This is to make it very short, but I would like to add that I also won 4 international awards. One from USA in AI, and the other one from UK, and 2 from the United Arab Emirates, AI Technology and Society, and also lots of trophies from different ministries, and I'm so proud to be also mentioned by Her Royal Highness Princess Rima recently in her tweet. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And honestly, this panel is about celebrating the success. And that's why I really encourage the panelists to to brag about themselves, to tell you the successes of what they've accomplished. And another award winner and book author and on the board of directors and C-suite executive, Christine, tell us more about yourself, all the way from the US.
Yes, I'm so elated to be here with everyone. My career trajectory has not been a straight line. My background actually is, my scientific background is in physics, solid-state physics, with a specialty in nanotechnology, quantum dots. And I started off my career in university, where I managed a fund, funding collaborative efforts at the University of California between the campuses and the national laboratories. And back then in the 90s, I invested in 3D printing. I invested in remote sensing technology. I then went to Lawrence Livermore in industrial partnerships and commercialization to commercialize technology that was used for defense weaponry, and figured out how to bring that out into the marketplace. I then, from a career trajectory of receiving an award, and my career went in a different direction. I was one of the top 100 innovators for the century, named by MIT. And after that, my career shifted, and I became a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, and really enjoyed that. After a few years, I did leave to get more operational experience. I started several nanotech-based companies. And then I also worked in the nonprofit world, working for the Kauffman Foundation, the Foundation for Entrepreneurship, where we launched Global Entrepreneurship Week in over 130 countries, where I came and I judged back then made in the Arab world with technologies that were developed out of the 22 Arab countries. I've also done a lot of consulting along the way, but most recently where I brought in an AI component, I was the Chief Innovation Officer for the University of California for the entire system, which had over 270,000 students, 230,000 faculty and staff, and over 2 million living alumni. And I built out the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem. But one of my mandates was I had a $100 billion plus portfolio, technology portfolio that I managed. And with that, there was over 13,000 patents within the University of California. We averaged 5 new inventions per day. And so I needed to figure out how do I manage this entire technology portfolio, which was the largest in the United States. And I went to IBM Watson, I went to Google, and I said, can you please build me an AI? Because I need to figure out what I have so that I can monetize it. And they said, oh, it's going to take tens of millions of dollars in years. And so I actually found a company that had AI technology, and I hired that individual to come in, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal because I found the technologies that were better than some of the Fortune 10 companies, and was able to then utilize that and monetize it. I also, as Debbie mentioned, have also written a book on transformative innovation, on how we shift the economies based on how we innovate as a society and how we get that into the marketplace from different financial structures and so forth. And right now, I am CEO of U Plus Nova, where I have launched an AI index fund, which has not been done before. I have partnered with the top 20 global corporate CVC units, like Sony, and so that is patient capital. And the fund is having family office investors, which is also patient capital, to invest alongside each other. So it's a new type of asset class that we're developing. So I'm very excited to be here and to talk more in a little bit.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. We're fortunate. Thank you for coming. And then Adhari from all the way from Oman, very, very welcome, assistant professor at the university. And oh man, you guys in Oman is doing wonderful things to close the gender gap.
First of all, I'm very delighted to be among these panelists and among this nice group of people. This is Dr. Adhari from College of Medicine and Health Science from Sultan Qaboos University. I am a medical doctor by background, and then I did my PhD in the US on cancer early detection using machine learning and AI, analyzing big data of clinical pathological data and omics. Since then, I started this journey of AI and machine learning applications in healthcare. When I rejoined Sultan Qaboos University, I put in mind that I need to build capacity building for AI in our institute through empowering students, introducing AI into medical education. And I was among the first to introduce the AI topics into medical education. Then we went further, where I established a research group in AI application and innovation in healthcare, led by me and 3 other ladies, but we have 3 men with us, so it is not competing, we are collaborating. From that research group, we have been awarded several grants. The prominent one is the His Majesty Grant Fund, which is the most prestigious fund in Sultan Qaboos University. And that was merely to automate cancer registry and other diseases registry by the use of NLP. Currently, we are working it, and we have several shows in different international meetings and national conferences. And then we have been awarded several awards. The latest was in Kuwait. And we are here today to share ideas and get a good network.
Really great. So can I ask the statistics slide to come up again?
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I just remember that also I am a member of the AI, global AI for the future of AI group in the World Economic Forum, and also member of the G20, S20 for science, and technology, and I just would like to mention this. So thank you to all these organizations who realized the importance of women and invited us to participate and represent the region for very important, to discuss very important issues. Thank you.
Thank you. And World Economic Forum is really doing excellent work, and especially in this region, for to help us understand what are the gender gaps, why is it a problem if we have gender gaps, and what we can do to help close the gender gap. And one thing that we do know is that if we do diversity and inclusion correctly in the field of artificial intelligence, we really tremendously benefit society. There's huge benefits. But we also know, because of all the biases that creep in and so on, if we don't have equitable diversity, the consequences are really not good. We can hurt society and we can hurt businesses. So, Akshari, I don't know, can you show that screen? Thanks. Yeah. We as Women in AI has done a lot of research ourselves, but we also partner with the World Economic Forum, United Nations, etc., the universities, to really understand why there's a gender gap, what's happening, and help accelerate the closure of the gender gap. So I'm thinking that, Christine, you can tell us a bit more about one of the statistics that we have up there is we know that if there's equitable diversity on board and C-suite, then those organizations tend to report 10% better financial performance. But we're talking 50-50. We're not talking the woman is taking over the world. But what is your experience in women on boards and C-suites?
Well, the data has been tracked for well over 15 years, and it's obvious the more diverse your board is, say, for instance, you have one female on the board, your shareholder price goes up. You have two, shareholder price goes up even more. And it's not only just women. Let's think about diversity of backgrounds and diversity of thought. And we all have different lenses of experience. So it might be a different race that was raised differently. And I think by having, and I define diversity and inclusion of all different groups and bringing them to the table, because we all have these amazing experiences, and like Debbie's experience is likely more different than my experience and the other panelists on here. And so I think that's what's really important of bringing those all together. But I do have this one motto that I always have on my desk. I have this little plaque, and it says, "Empowered women empower women." And I believe that we need to have this next generation teaching the younger generation to empower them to take a chance and to be creative and join. There are a couple of boards that I sit on, and it's a conscious decision. One of the companies is Godot, and it's an AI logistics company in the US for circular economy. And the decision was very on purpose. And there are 3 men and there are 3 women. And so we all have these different, life experiences that we bring to the table. But again, it needs to be a conscious decision. Another one of the companies that I'm advising that just signed a deal with Disney, it's a motion AI company, the same type of thing. A conscious decision, 30% of the workforce on the team is female. Most of them are executives. They also look at first-generation immigrants as part of that diversity as well, which is 70% of the company. Another company that I'm advising is a workplace AI company. Again, same thing. The board is half women, a conscious decision. So I think it's really becoming more prevalent, at least what I'm seeing in the US, is that the executive leadership and the investors are making those decisions and those choices because they know it's good for the bottom dollar of the company.
Excellent. So I'm going to ask Fatmah
Fatmah.
about your experience, and then I'm also going to ask the audience, but let's hear from you.
Yeah, apart of this stat, I would like to talk more about UAE because really we have a very positive figures. For us in UAE, we have a very significant strides, and if we are coming to talk about women empowerment, even gender balance. For the cabinet affairs, for instance, we have split even percent between male and female, so we are 50-50. And 66% of UAE public jobs are positioned by women. And 30 of these 66%, 30 of them are female. So we are so proud we have this big women empowerment in UAE. And we are coming to talk specifically in AI, we are very active. And our government is usually encouraging us to be part of this. We have a UAE artificial intelligence strategy, and a part of this strategy, we have multiple initiatives to encourage women to be part of this. So we are proud of being very empowered in UAE. This will make us be prepared for the future, that we are also having a good push to be more giving to this country. If we are coming to talk also about education, 70% of our graduates are female and women. So we are always encouraging education because it is the first step to start anything. So this is what I can just talk proudly about in UAE.
Awesome. And I think we can ask the audience, what do you see up there? And keep it positive. Because these are worldwide figures, but we really do feel that in the US and in the Middle East, there's definitely progress. Sir? Can we have a mic there, please?
Can you give him a mic, please?
Hi, good morning. As I said before, my name is Omar Janebi. I'm from ADNOC. And when I see 26% work in the field, I'm really appreciate that figure. I've been in the field for almost 20 years. And we didn't think in the beginning that we can have women inside the fields, but now we have every year more and more of females choosing to be in the sites, working as technicians, working as operators, working really hard and showing efficiency as well, the eager to learn. And even the gap of learning is really high with them. I'm really proud of that. And I appreciate all the efforts is done. And as well from ADNOC, they are really pushing to have that kind of equality and to have the leadership. And most of our first CEO as well was a lady in our companies as well. So this is really great. Thank you.
That's an awesome perspective. Thank you so much. And then Dr. Fatmah, from the Saudi side, how do you see it?
Well, let me start about my idea about the concept of diversity and inclusion. So I believe that those two are two important concepts that brings individual and group of people to believe in certain values. This is one side, but when it comes to AI, I think that it is about the inclusion of AI concepts and proof of concepts into the development of software. For example, proof of concept related to participation in the field, proof of concept related to security and the different layers of security, proof of concept related to authorization and ethical stuff and blah, blah, blah. So we can add to that also proof of concept related to diversity maybe in the future. And this is very important when we talk about the diversity also in the software level, how to be implemented using AI, and what are the different layers that we can think of to bring AI into the software itself. That's one thing. Of course, when we go back to the stats here in Saudi Arabia, everybody probably in this room knows about the 2030 vision, and women empowerment is at the heart of this 2030 vision, and it is driving the engagement and participation of women in different fields, in technology, in AI, in science, in cybersecurity, in you name it. So really, the statistics in Saudi Arabia is completely different than what is being displayed here, to the point that one of the reports mentioned that it is higher, the women participation in these fields, and especially in business, is higher than what is being reflected in other reports related to the European Union, for example, and Europe. However, the other statistics here regarding the equality that to be achieved after 32 years, I have lots of respect for the organization that has done this stat, but I think maybe they have included some parameters that can be excluded a little bit and redefined in a way to remove complexities. And for us, I believe that we can achieve this in a faster time. Also, maybe we need to propose some solution related to this, related to with women in technology and women in AI, by introducing an index for women participation related to this field to speed up the process, including types of jobs for women, new types of jobs in AI to be involved in different business, for example, and eliminating the differentiation between men and women, and helping the younger people to be involved more at early stage.
Okay, excellent, thanks. And then, Adhari, how does it look in Oman?
Yeah, actually in Oman, let me say this. Oman was like the first country in the Gulf country who empowered women back in 1994, especially in political positions and leadership. Until then, we have seen several female ministers getting that position, and even in the State Council, we have almost around 12 female members in the State Council. So in terms of empowering women in Oman, we don't have an issue at all. Omani women are very much empowered, and it is only their willingness to show up, and it is their willingness to educate themselves, to train themselves, and to prove themselves in the society. But if you allow me to ask the audience, mainly the male audience, if you were asked to join a team to execute a project, and that team was led by a woman, or there was a woman member, or a female member, how do you perceive that? Do you think that project will be executed more efficiently having that woman part of the team, or do you think women usually are more of I will not say obstacle, but very criticizing, they don't get things go smoothly? How do you think? So whoever thinks women make things executed in a more efficient way and more smoothly, and they have that positive vibe in the group, raise your hand. You see, we are empowered. You see, so it is us who decide how we want our image to be presented in front of the team, in front of, in the community that we are living. And Oman, I don't think we have an issue with empowering women.
Yeah, no, excellent.
Yeah.
And there's progress. There's actually not even an issue. Let's go back to the 132 years and some really pragmatic advice. Dr. Fatmah has given a very good example of what we can do, a Women in AI Index. So Christine, give us some ideas. How can the rest of the world accelerate the closure of the gender gap?
I think there are many different ways that we can think about how do we, one of the statistics, I used to work with Anita Borg, and she launched the Grace Hopper Award, and she had done the research, and it showed that if you don't grab women by the age of 12 in the STEM fields, you lose them. So you need to entice them, you need to expose them to the different sciences to see if there's an entrance level. So I think there's one thing there. I think apprenticeships are also really important. I think it's easier in some areas for men to get apprenticeships because they network quite easily. With women, it's a little bit more of a struggle. So how do we advance that? How do we enable maybe some apprenticeship programs to advance more women and diversity within the AI community? And then one of the things that I always have believed in throughout my whole career, and I call it Team Christine, and it's the group of mentors that I bring around me. And as I move along in my career journey, some of those mentors change and shift and come in and out. But it was a huge life lesson for me. One of my board members many years ago, who was 72 years old, had pointed across the room and said, he said, "Do you see that guy over there?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "That's my mentor." And I said, "Well, Bob, you're 72. And he said, "Yeah, and he's 80. And I'm still learning." He said, "I will have a mentor my entire life until the day that I don't take another breath." And that really I took close to my heart, that's really important, and that's how we advance, and we learn from others. We learn from their successes, and we learn from their failures, and which also accelerates us as well. Okay, I don't want to do that. So I think we should look from a global perspective on how we can enable that more and grow that.
Yeah, and celebrate successes.
Celebrate and accelerate.
I'm going to give Muhammad a chance to comment, to ask a question, and then we're going back to Fatmah to give us your ideas from the ministry perspective.
Good morning. I'm Mohammad Arshad. I'm founder of Decoding Data Science, and I have worked in 8 years in Accenture in the people analytics space. And the main purpose of Accenture, they had a vision for 2025 to have female leadership at least 30% of the boards. At the time when I was there were only 20% female leadership that were there. So we all have to do a planning at every promotion level. So to promote women in the organization, specifically the tech and the AI space, how they can, because the leadership has to grow from, there has to be a culture to promote the women employees. And the Accenture as a company, they have around 500K employees, and in the leadership they had a very less representation. So they had a planning that had to be done from the hiring, from the promotion, and the culture, the training. So I was also part of the Accenture learning team, wherein we used to give a lot of trainings to the female employees, and what we saw, they were very good in visualization, and they were and in the presentation skills. And as I also commented, our manager, she was also a lady employee who really had a lot of processes in place and helped us plan everything properly. And I think by right now they have already, Accenture has around 28% females in the leadership, that is the managing director level and above, and they have a vision to do 50% by 2030 as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to comment about this, and
That's
also
great.
right now in my academy, I am also, Debbie knows, I'm promoting a lot of women to start into, because they are scared of coding. Python, they think it is it's not for them, but we always start from visualization, presentations, and they
Okay.
pick up that, and then they understand and connect the dots. And thank you for the
Excellent.
wonderful presentation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Fatma, your
As been said by
what can we do?
yeah,
What-
but education is really
worldwide?
very important, because if you start by education, you can manage your journey. And as been said, for us, in UAE government, we have already this plan. Emiratization program is there from different level, starting being a junior, senior, and even in the leadership. So I cannot speak more proudly about us in UAE, but this is already part of our strategy.
That the rest of the world can learn from.
Yes.
And Adhari?
Yeah, actually, for war women like new generations, to enhance them or to encourage them to be introduced in different sectors, we need to set role models. So we know women are working and they are excellating their skills in different areas, but they don't show up. So showing up these milestones, whatever it is, will set as a role model for other ladies to pursue whatever career. For example, in AI now, we know there are so many skillful female and like university students, but they don't know where to head. But if they know that there is such existing a woman, even in Oman or outside Oman, that will be our role model, and they can pursue or they can contact her, and then they can proceed. And similar to a story that you just mentioned,
Yes.
maybe you can tell them that story about the 12-year girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yes.
That will support what I say. So
Yes.
setting a role model will inspire young generations somehow.
Yes, I did a television show for the Discovery Channel, finding America's Next Great Innovator, and a young 12-year-old girl reached out to me, and she said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that I saw you on TV and to see that you're a scientist and especially focusing on nanotechnology. She said, I want to study nanotechnology, but my teacher makes fun of me and says, why do you want to do that? And to see, she said, you've inspired me because I know it's possible now because I've seen that you've done it. And so I won't listen to my teacher. and I said, if there's any time you want to reach out to me and talk about it, I'm here for you, because that's what we need to do. We need to encourage the next generation.
I also think apprenticeships, like
Yes.
like you mentioned, I think that is a call for action, maybe, to the businesses and governments out here. That apprenticeships is really a way to encourage and to empower the women. We have 2 minutes, and I really want to give the audience a chance to. We've celebrated you. Now let's celebrate the. Yes, sir.
Again and again.
We're making these guys run around. Sorry.
Why there is no participation from our ladies? We also want to hear from them.
Thank you for the chance, second time. So to be brief, I think you presented exactly what is required, but there is another aspect. So it is not only about the knowledge or the experience. I think there is another part of it as well. Not only for ladies, but also for men. To have that confidence, to have that kind of networking. Networking has become a must in any environment, work environment. Having the right networking, having the way even to present yourself. So to show that confidence, it'll help you for your journey. And I think that's the part that where your comments, the role model. And one thing that I've seen, and maybe the enemy of a woman is woman, basically. So what I see, you expect a lot from the men to support women. That's fine. We are supporting it 100%. But I don't see that much from woman to woman. And one thing is that in the US and Europe, there is a lot of communities for everything, from even knitting, there is a community to help. So in the UAE, and not only in the MENA region, I don't see that kind of, committees or communities to help women. So we have engineers, we have scientists, we have all of them, but all of them scattered. They don't come together, they don't support each other. So my point is that that part of it, and one of the aspects is also confidence, maybe it's linked to the education, is public speaking. I think one of the things that to promote them and learn them is it's to prepare them, is also to have the capabilities of public speaking, have the opportunity to show up. Thank you.
So, sir, I'm going to request you to become a sponsor of Women in AI UAE to help us with this endeavor.
Yes.
That's exactly why we exist. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Time's up.
Debbie, but I guess there is one lady there, so I guess we should give her a chance to say something. Oh. Even if it is for a couple of seconds, but
Yes.
I guess she has to say something.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So my name is Yusra. I'm a products data manager, and I come from data science background. So we cannot deny all of the successful efforts in narrowing the gap in the world of tech or AI. But I had one question. If all of these women wanted to make it to the leadership or the C-suite part, not just to be present in the tech world or the AI domain, what would be one piece of advice that you can share with us, seeing that you have successfully managed to get to be the leaders in the domain? And thank you.
Dr. Fatmah.
Well, I can tell you one thing you need to consider is develop yourself continuously. Never stop. Never give up. Just go ahead and work on yourself in order to be up to date all the time, regardless of what the business is offering you, what the community is giving you. You have to focus on developing yourself, period. Thank you.
Yeah, so you should invest in yourself. You should envision yourself how I want myself to be in the next 5 years and what it needs to reach that goal. So through education, through networking, through attending such sessions, you should have a clear goal, and you should have that vibe. You don't underestimate your value. So enhance your skills and you will get there, inshallah.
Fatmah, do you want to add something?
Yes, I want to add one last thing, is you should be proactive. Don't wait for anyone. Because usually, as a female character, we have this kind of shyness. So you should be proactive, be proud of yourself, start, and give yourself the chance to be the first lady on this track, the first lady in this field. So just be proactive, be yourself, develop yourself, and you will be, for sure, a good example for your colleagues.
Christine? Do you want to find your final thoughts?
I would just say find someone that you admire in where you want to head, and then ask them to talk to you periodically and learn from them.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ladies. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you to the audience.